Et bonjour tout le monde. Alors, voici chapitre 3, Géoculture. So this is chapter 3, Géoculture. And our objective by the end of this, we'll analyze and demonstrate knowledge of the geography and culture of Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. Ok, Québec, Canada. Nom des habitants, les Québécois. Population, plus de 160 000 habitants. Personnages célèbres, Marie-Claire Blais, Yves Thériault, Félix Leclerc et Guy Laliberté. Économie, industrie alimentaire, textile, trafic portuaire et le tourisme. La terrasse Saint-Denis. Cette large promenade offre une belle vue du Saint-Laurent. C'est un des lieux de rendez-vous préférés des jeunes Québécois. Elle était un des endroits favoris des poètes et écrivains. Okay, nom des habitants, so name of the inhabitants. They're the Québécois in French. We call them that in English too, the Québécois. Population size, more than 160,000 inhabitants. Famous people from Quebec are Marie-Claire Blais, Yves Thériault, Félix Leclerc, and Guy Laliberté. And their economy is based on industrie alimentaire. That's like the food industry. So think like exporting maple syrup for one. Textile or textiles. So like fabric, usually like fabric that you use for curtains or furniture or things like that, not necessarily clothing. Could be, but not necessarily. Trafic portuaire, port traffic, so they're a large port. And tourisme, well, tourism, obviously. Okay, la terrasse Saint-Denis. So this large promenade offers a beautiful view of the Saint-Laurent or the St. Lawrence River. C'est un des lieux de rendez-vous préférés des jeunes Québécois, so it's a preferred meeting place for young Québécois. Elle était un des endroits favoris des poètes et écrivains, so it's one of the favorite places for poets and writers to hang out in. So poets and writers like to hang out at La Terrasse Saint-Denis, and it offers a beautiful view of the St. Lawrence River, or the Saint Laurent. And it's also a preferred place where young people like to go and hang out. And you can see it here. This is the Terrasse Saint-Denis. Place Royale. C'est ici que Samuel de Champlain a fondé la ville de Québec en 1608. La chute Montmorency, c'est plus haute que les chutes du Niagara, et en hiver, elle gèle et on peut l'escalader. Okay, so Place Royale, this is where Samuel de Champlain founded the city of Quebec in 1608. So Place Royale, which is here, this is where Samuel de Champlain, you can see his little bust here, founded the city of Quebec in 1608. Okay. La Chute Montmorency, this is waterfall that's taller than Niagara Falls by about 98 feet. I think it's 98 feet taller. And in winter, it freezes and you can climb it. So, La Chute Montmorency, it's taller or higher than Niagara Falls, and in winter it freezes and you can climb it. Géographie. Quebec City, where the St. Lawrence and the St. Charles rivers meet. Historic district is Vieux-Québec. It's broken into two parts, the Haute-Ville and the Basse-Ville. The Haute-Ville is on top of Cap Diamant or Cape Diamond. Basse-Ville is below Cap Diamant and it's surrounded by steep cliffs. So here you can see this is part of the Basse-Ville. All right, this is going up to the Haute-Ville, and this is the funicular, which is like, it's kind of like a train almost. Not really, it's like one cab. Anyway, you can get inside of it and ride up and not have to go up all the stairs to get to the Haute-Ville, or get down from the Haute-Ville to the Basse-Ville. Montmorency Falls are 272 feet high, which is 98 feet higher than Niagara Falls. So there you go. Montmorency Falls, or La Chute Montmorency, are 272 feet high, which makes them 98 feet higher than Niagara Falls. They're located east of Quebec City at the mouth of the Rivière Montmorency, where it drops into the St. Lawrence. Histoire. Battle of the Plains of Abraham. This decisive battle altered the course of Canadian history. Up until 1759, the French had ruled over all of Canada, but after the British defeated them at Quebec City, they lost control of the colony to the British. So, the French were ruling over all of Canada, but after the Battle of the Plains of Abraham in Quebec City, Canada lost control of the colony, and now they're British at this point in history. Battle of Quebec. During the American Revolution, the Americans attacked the British at Quebec City, and they were hoping to bring the Canadians in on their side of the war. They were defeated, and the Canadians remained loyal to the British. So during the American Revolution, Americans, they go to Quebec City and they attack the British there, and they're hoping that we can get the Canadians on our side. But no, we were defeated, and the Canadians decided to stay loyal to the British. Les fortifications. Québec est la seule ville fortifiée d'Amérique du Nord. Le Petit Champlain. Dans ce quartier sympathique, il y a beaucoup d'ateliers d'artistes, de cafés et de boutiques. Les plaines d'Abraham. En 1759, les Anglais ont battu les Français à cet endroit. Aujourd'hui, c'est un grand parc. Okay. Les fortifications. So Quebec is the only fortified city in North America. And by fortified, I mean it has walls surrounding the entire old part of the city. So here are part of the fortifications. If you go to Quebec City today, you'll actually see these, and you can go up on top of them. And, you know, back in the day, your city was fortified to protect it from you know, the natives who, you know, we took their land, so we got to protect it from the natives and from, you know, the British or whoever else wants to attack us. And so at nighttime, if you didn't get in the gates by a certain time, well, you were just out of luck. You were stuck outside until morning when they reopened the gates. It's not like that anymore. They're open all the time, as you can see the cars driving through. Okay, next, Le Petit Champlain. So in this nice little quarter or nice little neighborhood, there are lots of artist workshops, cafes, and boutiques. So Le Petit Champlain, it's a cute little neighborhood where they have lots of artist workshops, cafes, and boutiques. Okay, and the next one, Les Plaines d'Abraham. So in 1759, the English battled the French at this spot. So this is where they fought the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. Today, it's a large park. And it's not like the kind of park like with playground equipment and things like that. It's more of like, think like Fontainebleau State Park. Le Château Frontenac. Les châteaux de la Loire en France ont inspiré l'architecture de cet hôtel. So le Château de Frontenac, or le Château Frontenac, so the castles of the Loire en France, which are in France, so the Loire castles, or the castles, les châteaux de la Loire, inspired the architecture for this hotel. So this is a giant hotel, And the architecture is based off of the castles of the Loire, which is a valley in France. It's an area, well, it's not just a valley, it's an area of France that has lots of castles. So the architecture of the castles inspired the architecture of this hotel. It was built as a luxury hotel by Canadian Pacific Railway in 1893 through 1924. It was intended as a stopover for railway customers, and it was designed by New York architect Bruce Price. The architecture reflects styles of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, because that's when those castles in the Loire were built, in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. It was named after Louis de Buade, Count of Frontenac, who was a 17th century governor of New France. And New France was what we called Canada back in the day. Franklin Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Canadian Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King met here during World War II to work out a plan to fight Hitler. So remember, Franklin Roosevelt was our president, Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister of England, and Canadian Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King. So they all met at Chateau Frontenac during World War II to try to work out a plan for them to fight Hitler. It's also considered to be the national symbol of Quebec. So Chateau Frontenac is considered to be the national symbol of Quebec. La Terrasse du Frein. La Terrasse du Frein is a 425-meter boardwalk, which is at the foot of the Chateau Frontenac. So here is La Terrasse du Frein, and here's Chateau Frontenac. It attracts crowds in all seasons. In the warmer months, people go there to take a leisurely walk, watch street performers, or meet up with their friends. And during the winter, people gather to skate at the outdoor ice rink or to go sledding. So here's the sledding that you can do on the terrace. Savais-tu que? Did you know that? Tourists who visit Quebec City in winter can stay in a hotel where everything's made of ice, even the beds. About 350 tons of ice are used each winter to build the Ice Hotel, which is a huge structure that covers 3,000 square meters, not miles, and it all melts in the spring. So everything's made of ice, including the beds. So obviously, they put down something soft to lay on. And it's so cold that they can actually have this fire going and none of the ice melts. Savais-tu que? Did you know that? Quebec City is considered the cradle of French civilization in North America. Although most of the inhabitants are bilingual, about 95% of them can claim French ancestry. Okay, we're going to